ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Today's topic is death. It's very important to understand this very important concept of life. As people say, as sure as death. And people don't want to speak about it. People don't want to speak about it. People avoid speaking about this topic, death. In fact, when it comes to pious people, mode of goodness, even they will say, अरे शुभ शुभ बोल, ये क्या मृत्यु के बारे में क्यों बात कर रहा है? Why are you speaking about death? But then when it comes to scriptures, when it comes to Vedic scriptures, when it comes to association of devotees, there is a great discussion about death. Because finally one has to meet death. So all males also die, females die, people in the womb, they die. Immediately after taking birth, people die. School going kids, college going ones, unmarried, married, retired, old, everyone has to die. So when we discuss this topic, we understand a very crucial subject matter. That is, we have to prepare for that final exam. That's it. Therefore, I always say life is a preparation and death is an examination. Somehow, those people who avoid understanding about this topic, they are the ones who are actually great losers because they're not going to achieve something very important in life. That is breaking the cycle of birth and death itself. Many times people feel that death means everything over. No. Death means something else. What is death? Bhagavad Gita very beautifully describes. Please repeat. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptir dhirastatra na muhyati. Very nice shloka. Right from the time when you come to the sessions, this shloka will be chanted and explained. It's very important shloka also. It says, the soul passes from boyhood to youth to old age. And at the time of death, the soul passes from one body to another. This dehantara is called as death. This is called as death. Another thing, another very beautiful analogy that Krishna gives to Arjun to make us understand that what is death. Please repeat. Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani granati naroparani तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि. Very nice analogy. Very nice comparison. It says when the cloth becomes old, it's torn, it's faded off. So people throw that and get a new one for themselves. Similarly, when this body becomes old, the soul leaves this body to accept another new body. That is called as death. Changing of the cloth is called as death. And there are many, many clothes available, varieties of clothes. And to be more precise and specific, 84 lakh types of clothes are available. How's that? Wear whichever design you want. You want sleeveless? Available. You want without pant? Available. You want to wear half chaddi? Available. Whatever you want, that species. You don't want to wear a cloth? You want a transparent one? Available. All sorts of cloths are available. This is called as death, changing of the cloth. So in this way, we understand very clearly that this body, it undergoes transformation and finally it becomes useless. So the soul gets transferred to another body, which is a new body. So what are those transformations that this body goes through? Firstly, does soul also go through some transformation? It's always young, it's eternal. It's eternal. So now when it comes to this body, it has multiple phases, specifically six. Six transformations as mentioned by Srila Prabhupada. First one is the body takes birth. So when we celebrate birthday, you know whose birthday we're celebrating? Happy birthday to this body. Because you're not celebrating birthday of soul. Because the soul has taken birth, from time immemorial. In fact, soul does not take birth; it's eternal. So whose birthday are we celebrating? We're celebrating birthday of this body. But don't wish like this to your friends or others. They'll consider you to be mad. But then it's a very good analysis. Whose birthday are we celebrating? This body's birthday. So when we ask, how old are you? I am eternal. Mm. But then a normal, I should say, an ignorant person of this world, his question is how old this body is. And therefore, even a newborn baby who might be just 2 months or 3 months on this planet, what do parents say? He's 2 months old, 3 months old, 1 year old. So the body, this is what is the calculation old. In this way, we understand the first thing is the body takes birth. Second thing that takes place is it remains for some time. Then again, it starts growing. Remains in that phase, starts growing. So, first is takes birth. Second, it remains for some time. Third, it keeps growing. And the fourth one is it produces some effects, some byproducts. So many things keep coming out of the body, isn't it? It keeps producing effects. And gradually it becomes old. And finally, this body, it has got three destinations. Srimad Bhagavatam describes three destinations. One is this body will become ash, or it will become worms, or it will become stool. When it comes to Sanatan Dharma, so the bodies are burnt. So the body becomes converted into ashes. There are some cases, in fact, I heard in India itself one case where a newborn baby died. So they have a tradition. I don't know what sort of family culture that is, but they have a tradition. They have a culture that they will not burn the body or bury the body. They'll just put it in a bag and hang it on the tree. So now, the various types of animals, birds, they'll come and eat. So when they eat, that body is turned into stool. The second. Third, so when the body is just thrown like that somewhere, the body is converted or it's buried. So what happens? Body is turned into worms and the worms will come eat up. So in this way, we see this body has got three destinations, Srimad Bhagavatam says. So therefore, the question that is asked in Bhagavatam is, whose body this is? Is this body belonging to fire? Is this body belonging to worms? Or is it body belonging to carnivorous animals? This body surely does not belong to us. Nor those people who say, ye mera hai. Parents say, mera beta hai. Friends say, mera friend hai. Wife will say, he's my husband. But actually, he does not belong to anyone. You see? This is called as a deeper analysis of this body. So in this way, these are the six effects. The body takes birth, second, it remains, third, it keeps growing, fourth, some effects, it produces some effects, fifth, gradually it dwindles, and sixth, dies, mixes with the oblivion. So when Vasudev and Devaki, when they got married, so at that time Kamsa came. He said, I will drive my sister to her in-laws' place. At that time there was great Akashvani. You fool Kans, eighth offspring of this girl will kill you. So now, as soon as he heard, he immediately removed the talwar, the sword, held the hair, and he was about to chop off the head. At that time, Vasudev, he started. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. He started his class. And if you hear that, it's a proper Bhagavatam class where he speaks about the concept of body and soul. There he says a very nice concept. And he gives two examples. Please repeat. Vrajam stishtan padaikena yathaivaikena gacchati yathatrana jalaukaivam dehi karma gatim gatah. So see, when we are walking, have you all observed? We don't put both the steps together. Have you, do you do that? How do you walk? You keep one leg, then lift the another one, and then you put the leg in front, and then lift the other one and put the leg in front. So, what are we doing? So, we take the support of the earth and then lift the leg, and then the next one. So, with the support of the first, you lift the second. Hold on to this. When it comes to worms, especially those who eat this leaves, you see how they keep crawling? And if say the worm is there somewhere on the ground, so if you put some leaf or something, that'll come and it'll first check and then it'll start going up. So say there are two leaves and now this worm is there. Now this worm moves. It has not yet got the leaf. So it'll think what to do. Have you all noticed that? These worms, especially the worms in the flowers and these leaves. And then when it is able to catch the leaf, then it will lift the behind part and then it will start crawling. So can you imagine? Wife is in danger and husband is giving these analogies to explain it to a demon. And he's saying, the way we keep our legs while walking, with the way we keep our feet while walking, first we take the support and then we lift the next. Similarly, hey Kans, don't worry. Your next body will be ready, then you'll be leaving this body. So why are you worrying about death? Your next body is ready. And he is another analogy. Oh, you're not satisfied with this? Okay, let's take the example of the worm. Only when it gets support of the next leaf, then it gives up the previous leaf. Similarly, when your next body is ready, at that time you'll give up this body. So why worry? Why are you worrying about death? So this was the preaching which Vasudev did. So in this way, it's very clear what is death. Death is just moving from one body to another. Let me ask you a very simple question. If this concept is so simple, why are people afraid? Why? Why people are afraid? See, one thing is very clear. We are spirit soul, we are eternal. There's no doubt about that. We are eternal. This body is temporary. Now, what has happened is the spirit soul, it has come in the body, it is residing in this body. So, spirit soul is eternal, so it expects even the body to be eternal. It expects everything around which is connected to this body, even that should be eternal. At least in India, people know it very well. If someone dies, they know very well that either he has gone to the next body or he has gone to Swarga. Obviously, no one say ki narak gaya. I've never heard. I've never heard people saying uska narakwas ho gaya. Even if he's the most sinful person, people say uska swargwas ho gaya. So everyone, at least in India, knows this very clearly that he has gone to some place, some destination. But still people cry. You know why? Because we expect even that person who's connected to me to be eternal. वो मेरे साथ रहना चाहिए हमेशा. I don't want to be separated. Why? Because of the spirit soul who is eternal expects everything around, including this body, to be eternal. इसको कहते हैं incompatibility. Eternal entity stuck in a temporary entity, and it expects the temporary entity also to be eternal, and that creates all the problem. Therefore, when someone dies, we cry because we were attached, and whatever I'm attached to, I want that thing to be permanent. And when the person himself, when he's going to leave the body, there are people who cry. बचा लीजिए मुझे, बचा लीजिए मुझे, मरना नहीं है, बचा लीजिए. अरे कहाँ, यहीं तो जा रहे हो? You will go to another body. Why worry? Why are you worrying so much? If you ask this answer, you know what? He has this very, very great pain in the heart that whatever I had, I'm going to leave all that and go now. All that I'm going to leave and go. Simple. See, each one of us, if we have lost our mobile phone or a wallet, how much it pains. Pains or no? You're not lost? I'll pray if you want. So you get the experience. At least I have lost my wallet once. Painful. उसमें कुछ था नहीं ज़्यादा, लेकिन still it was paining during my college days. So just imagine a small entity like wallet, which has got few rupees, that is gone. That pains. Just imagine everything is going to go away. Everything. Therefore, it pains. It pains a lot. So this is the point, which Krishna is also making in Bhagavad Gita. That when it comes to this body, what is a characteristic? And when it comes to the soul, what is a characteristic? The Lord is telling this. Antavanta ime deha nitya shokta sharirinaha anashino prameyasya tasmat yudhyasva bharata. So he's making it very clear. Hey Arjun, what are you worrying about? This body is destructible. This body is anyways going to be destroyed, but remember, the soul is permanent. And he specifically says that the soul is indestructible, immeasurable, and is eternal. Get up, Arjun, get up and fight. Don't fear, don't fear. So, this is a very important point to note that when it comes to death, people are very, very fearful because they don't want to lose anything. This is one aspect of fear. Those people who have little knowledge from Shastra, they have another aspect of fear. And that fear is, where am I going to go? Where will I go? It is described that when previously, not now, now there is video calling and this and that. The world has become very short now. But previously, when there was just landline and it would be there somewhere in some place, and then you have to walk all the way to call someone, and that also very costly. So that time when the girls would get married and they're supposed to go to their husband's house, they'll cry piteously. They'll embrace their parents and they'll cry like anything because they don't know what next. Previously, marriages you might have seen there's a curtain between the boy and the girl. And when the curtain drops, for the first time they look at each other. Now that girl does not know who the person is. Mm. And she's supposed to live with him now. She's supposed to go to their place. Everything is going to change. That change, that girl is for her, it's very, very difficult to imagine. And she cries, I'm going to leave this and I'm going to go there and I don't know anything about that place. So in this way, we see when you don't know about certain thing, naturally fear creeps in. Naturally. And here we understand very clearly that those people who have little knowledge, not much, little knowledge from Shastra, they're very, very fearful that where am I going to go? And especially those who have done pap, and at the same time they have some knowledge, oh, they're extremely fearful. They know very well कि नरक ही जाना है. And then at least there's a culture. If someone dies, Garud Puran is read. Many pious families, they read Garud Puran. He might have read, and then he might be thinking, अरे बाप रे, अभी मुझे तेल में तला जाएगा, मुझे कीड़े खाएंगे, काटा जाएगा, what will happen? So in this way, it's very clear that when the destination is unknown, the person also becomes very, very afraid. Very afraid. So what are the different destinations available? Okay, Swarga, Narak, and okay, Vaikunt. Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita three broad categories of destination. Please repeat. ऊर्ध्वं गच्छन्ति सत्त्वस्था मध्ये तिष्ठन्ति राजसाः जगन्यगुणवृत्तिष्ठा अधो गच्छन्ति तामसाः. Three modes of material nature. Sattva-gun, Rajogun, Tamogun. And here it is said that person who leaves the body situated in Sattva-gun or Rajogun or Tamogun, where does that person go? Again, the entire life is a preparation to situate oneself in either of these three modes. ये अपने हाथ में है. Because we have to choose what we want to associate with. Karanam guna sangosya. By sangha, we are transferred to either of the three modes. So now here it is said, Urdhvam gachanti sattvastha. So that person who is in sattva guna, when he leaves the body, where does he go? He goes to the higher planetary systems, Swargalok and above. And those madhye tishthanti rajasah, those who are in the mode of passion and they leave the body, they remain here in this world to do fruitive activities. Because actually, karma is done on this planet, Bhuloka, in this planet. So the person will act, he'll get reaction, and accordingly has to enjoy or suffer. Ado gachanti tamasa, and those who are sinful, or I should put it as those who are in the mode of ignorance, they go downwards. Where downwards? Two ways. One, they'll get into animal species. So when I say we go upwards, means we get higher bodies, which are very, very amazing. And when I say that the entity goes down, the person gets lower bodies, and one of them is animal bodies, and other one is the body that is given in Naraka. Once one person was saying, आप क्या नरक नरक कर रहे हैं, मरने के बाद आप ही बोले कि स्पिरिट सोल और सटल बॉडी निकलेगा, तो किसको तला जाएगा? तेल तो छू नहीं सकता. आप ही ने कहा that soul cannot be burnt, and then you said that you'll be cut into pieces, but soul cannot be cut. And then you said that people will drown you in water, soul cannot be drowned. So what's going to happen? Just imagine if we are intelligent. Don't you think the higher beings will be more intelligent than us? The material nature will be more intelligent than us. There's a system which is called as soon as the person dies, when the soul and the subtle body comes out, a sharir is given and specifically called as yatana sharir. Yatana sharir means that sharir which is meant to give pain. How's that? It's very, very painful body. Little bit also one slap and the entire body will pain. Just an example I'm just giving. So such a body is given. And then, chalo. Now begins the game. जो जो कांड किया यहाँ इस दुनिया में उस दुनिया में उतनी पिटाई होगी. There's no doubt about that. No doubt at all. So in this way, we have these three destinations. Now let's go a bit more technical to understand about death and destinations. There are three different categories of people and have three different emotions towards death. One category of people see death as dangerous. Another category of people, they see death as an opportunity. And third category of people, they accept death as a very, very joyful moment. And they are not mad. So who are these three categories? Let's discuss now. First one is those who are called as karmis or materialists. So materialists, they're very fearful of death. So whatever we have discussed till now about the different aspects of fear, they are the ones who fall in this category. Very fearful of death. And Srila Prabhupada says, For these people, death is like a cat holding mouse in the mouth. Can you imagine? With the teeth, cat is holding a mouse. What will the cat be doing? Is cat kissing the? I think it's internally chanting Mahaprasad. Maybe it is saying, oh, okay, Mahaprasad has come. So the cat for the mouse is death. And what do you think? Mouse is very happy? कितना छटपटाता होगा वो, just imagine. It's not happy. It's very, very fearful. Very, very fearful. So in this way, we understand that for materialists, death is very, very fearful. They see death as fear, they see death as dangerous. And specifically for materialists, who comes to take them? Who comes? Yamaduts come to take them. We have a very classic example in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6. In that, there's a personality called Ajamil. When he was a young boy, he was a very, very wonderful boy, following all the instructions given by the parents, especially his father. But unfortunately, he was walking on the roads of Bangalore. Oh, sorry. He was walking in the forest. And when he's walking in the forest, there he finds a prostitute embracing a low class person. And obviously, whatever intimate activities they were doing, he was seeing that. And when he was seeing that, he got affected. He got affected to such a great extent that he decided, I want that girl for me. I want that prostitute for me. For your information, he was already married, newly married. Very, very wonderful wife who comes from a Brahmana family. Parents were nice Brahmanas and they trained him very nicely. But what to do? This sadhu became a sadhu just looking at that scene. It's very dangerous. Eh? We shouldn't ever think that मैं ऐसे कुछ सीन देख लूंगा और कुछ इफेक्ट नहीं होगा मैं तो हरे कृष्णा कर रहा हूँ वेरी डेंजरस वेरी डेंजरस technically this is called as prekshanam to see such scenes to see the opposite gender to see the sexual affairs that's called as prekshanam the book which I have authored or I should put as the book which I have compiled in that seventh chapter deals with all this and how to overcome if you're addicted to thinking about such things or addicted to seeing such things how to overcome so some nice practical tips from shastras are mentioned in that so it's very very dangerous to get into this activity of seeing. Can you imagine this person just by seeing you got the desire that I want that prostitute for myself and it was just a matter of time his desires became so intense he finally got that prostitute home. And I don't know if the prostitute might have said, you choose whom you want. You want me or you want your parents? And what do you think Ajamil said? I only love you. Chalo papa mein bahar niklo. Parents were sent out. And then the wife was still there, looks like. Again, the prostitute might have asked, she will remain or I will remain. Choose. She was sent out. Out. Go to your parents' house. Don't stay here. Now, this Ajamil, from that young age, he started his sinful activities. From that young age, he started his sinful activities with this prostitute. Can you imagine the sinful activities that he was doing? Firstly, he was involved in sensual affair with this prostitute. You know till what age? 80 plus years. And he's enjoying sex with this prostitute. Because when he was 88, he had a 5-year-old child. This is one. Second, to maintain that prostitute, it's not that easy. To maintain that prostitute, he would go and loot people to get money. Sometimes he'll murder people. Sometimes he'll kidnap people. He was doing all this. Now that prostitute would drink alcohol, so he would also share the glass. She would eat meat, he would also eat. And the most horrible thing, which is specifically mentioned by Shukadeva Goswami, is He used to eat the remnants of this prostitute. Jhuta khata tha uska. In this way, his entire life was sinful. Entire life was sinful. And at that time, can you imagine 88 years old lying on the bed? Anytime you can leave the body. At that time, he saw three Yamadutas. Ajamil was extremely fearful. That's the example that I'm giving. Extremely fearful. And this fearful personality, in that great fear, he called out his son Narayan. But then when Narayan was called in, Vishnu Dutas came, and rest, we know what happened. But here, the most important point is to take away such materialists, to take them to the next destination. Yamadutas come. I've given a very elaborate class on this journey after death. It is there on my channel, you all can see. I think it's around 1 hour or 1.5 hours class. So, what happens in 1 year when the person leaves the body? To get another body, it takes 1 year. It's not instant, it's not immediate. It takes 1 year. So, what happens on the first day, second day? Have you all heard 10th day, 13th day, some rituals are done? Every day, also, some rituals are done for those 13 days. Then, every month, there is Pindadan that happens. Why? All that is described in that class. You can see that. So, Yamadutas come to take the person. I was so shocked. One of my students' colleague, they had sent one image of a paper, and that image was very, very horrifying. Because this person, who was very old, he was about to leave the body, and he asked a paper and a pen, and he scribbled on it. He wrote his wife's name because his wife was nearby, he was not able to speak, and he writes Yamadut. He has written in English, he has written in Hindi also. I have that pic with me. And within 2 hours or so, he died. So it's not some imagination that Yamduts come and they're looking very, very horrifying and all that. They come. And it's also described that these people, many times they pass stool and urine and they die. इतना डरावना सीन होता है वो. So fearful. Entire life, what I believe that it does not exist, now it's there in front of me. So passing stool and urine, people die. So these are the karmis. But there are others who are little more elevated. They're called as yogis. So yogis are the ones who do some transcendental activities, or I should put it as they do some spiritual practices. And these spiritual practices specifically can be Ashtanga Yoga or Jnana Marga and so on. So these people, they don't see death as fear. They don't see death as dangerous. They see death as opportunity. Because they are very clear. Full life, I followed dharma. Full life, I maintained purity. And then I've decided what destination I want. And I'm capable to leave my body whenever I want. So I'll choose the right time and leave the body. And when I leave the body at the right time, I'll reach whichever destination I want. So therefore, these people, they are the ones who exactly know where they are going. So when you know where you are going, where is the tension? Where is the fear? They're not fearful. So what they do is, when they keep taking different bodies, they see that body as a vehicle. From this destination to this destination, I'll take one vehicle. From here to here, I'll take another vehicle. From here to there, I'll take another vehicle. They see that body as a vehicle. There's a very wonderful pastime that comes in Srimad Bhagavatam. So what happened is, there was a personality called Vishwaroop. Indra killed him. So Vishwaroop's father, Twashta, he did a yagya to kill Indra. So he created a demon, and his name was Vritrasur. So everyone got to know, Indra and everyone else got to know that it's going to be a very, very difficult thing to kill Vritrasur. So they wanted some mechanism by which they'll be able to kill him. What is the solution to finish him? This was the question. And you know what? Devtas are asking this question, and the Lord is saying that you go to a Muni called Dadichi Muni and ask him for his bones. And with his bones, you create a weapon, and with that weapon, you'll be able to kill Vritrasur. So Devtas went. And Dadichi Muni was a great Muni, he received. And when he received them, he asked, "What can I do for you?" And they asked, "We want your bones." What do you mean by you taking someone else's bones? What does that mean? What are you asking? क्या आप मुझे प्लीज अपना बोन्स दोगे? Okay, let me put it the other way. क्या आप प्लीज मरोगे? This was their request. Dadichi Muni, just to play with them for some time, he started saying that various logics he gave, various logics. And then he started speaking that how dear the body is, how can you ask for someone else's body? So Devtas, they started giving their logic. And since Dadichi Muni knew his next destination, he was not very bothered. He just smiled and he said, if it benefits you, I'll give. And this person, by his yogic siddhi, he left his body. So while leaving the body, he was not feeling pain. He just left his body. And how come a person leaves his body so easily? Because he knew there is some next destination, I'll go there. He knew where he's supposed to go. They are all yogis. And from there, another destination, and the next, and the next. And this is described by Lord Krishna in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, very elaborately. Many, many shlokas describe this. One of them is this. You all can repeat. धूमो रात्रिस्तथा कृष्णः सन्मास दक्षिणायनम् तत्र चान्द्रमसं ज्योतिर् yogi prapya nivartate. There's something called as leaving this body in smoke. You know what does that mean? There are specific instances or specific muhurtas to leave the body to go to a certain destination. If someone wants to go to the moon planet or Swarga, some people in the past, they're very crazy about going to Swarga. Now, obviously, people don't believe that there is some Swarga. So people are least bothered about going. But previously, people were least bothered about enjoying in this world. They'll do a lot of tapasya. And if you ask them, why are you doing tapasya? I'll go to Swarga. What will you do there? I'll enjoy there. No, no, enjoy here. What enjoyment is there here? What enjoyment is there? I'll go there. There we have all damsels. Heavenly damsels are so beautiful. There you have so much to drink, which will give kick, but that will not kick your liver or kidney. Your body will be more healthy. And there's no question of old age. There people appear and they just disappear. So people would want to go there to enjoy. And such a desire would be called as a dharmic desire. When people expect to enjoy in this life, according to Shastra, that is called as adharmic desire, adharmic enjoyment. So enjoyment means next life. According to Shastra and the Vedic culture, enjoyment means next life. So currently in this life you prepare. A very important understanding which all of us should have. See, nowadays, why there's so many divorces taking place? They say, no, no, I'm not able to enjoy with this person. We'll separate. I'm not able to put up with this person. We'll separate. But you know what? In the past, sometimes, in fact, अभी भी ऐसे लोग कहते हैं कि कोई बात नहीं 100 झूठ बोल के शादी करा दो. People in the past, they would do that. And after marriage, the person gets to know or the lady gets to know, अरे ये तो ऐसा है. Maybe, his body parts are missing or you never know what it is. Lula, Langda, whatever. Yes. He might be physically challenged. He might not be able to speak or whatever. But still, they will remain with that person. You know why? They will say that this is my karma for this life. Let me remain. Let me remain. Let me tolerate. This is my austerity. And since I'm going to follow my dharma, doing this austerity, my next destination will be very, very glorious. But now, when people say that we'll separate and we'll get married to someone else, we'll enjoy in this life. Please remember that is adharmic desire, adharmic activity. Therefore, nowhere you will find in Shastra things like divorce. You'll not find anywhere in Shastra about abortion. You'll not find. As soon as the lady is pregnant, both the male and female, they'll accept that as a responsibility. Even when the child is not properly growing, if there are some defects in the body, still they'll give birth and take care of the child till the last breath. Both husband and wife, they'll take care of the child till the last breath. Because they know, understand very well that this is our karma only. Let me tolerate. Let me continue serving. Next destination will be proper. Because now it's not the time for enjoyment. Next life. Whatever enjoyment I have to plan, next life. Therefore, you will see that in the Vedic culture, people are very, very dharmic. Whatever actions they will do, they will take the responsibility. They'll not run away from the responsibility. No, they'll not run away from the responsibility. Therefore, we understand very clearly that enjoyment, dharmic enjoyment means next life enjoyment. So people in the Vedic times, they would plan next life. And some would come to a stage where they would decide when to leave the body. And even when they're not able to decide and say accidentally they're dying, there's no accident as such. But then they don't know when they're going to die and they die, which is called as normal death in our language. And if they die in this muhurta or this times, then they will go to Swarga. What are those times? One is if they die at night on a specific time, waning moon, Amavas Kirat, waning moon. 6 months when the sun passes south, there's something called as Dakshinayan, there's something called as Uttarayan, Dakshinayan time. So when a person he dies during these times, that person goes to Swargaloka. Obviously, I told the qualification of the person is very dharmic. ऐसे नहीं जो भी मरा हाँ ये तो स्वर्ग गया ऐसा नहीं है. Dharmic person and he has followed a good number of things. A lot of things are there. If I go on to discuss all that, then it will take a long time. So that person goes to Swarga. But then there's a problem. Person goes to Swarga and that person has to fall from there when his punya gets over. Punya is almost like credit card or credits in your bank. You go to some place and with every enjoyment you're spending whatever credits you have. And at one point of time, when all the credits are zero, at that time you disappear from there and you appear in someone's womb here based on that. Still credits are there, you keep playing in Swarga. Once credits are over, you disappear from there and you appear here in this world in someone else's womb, some lady's womb. So this is the thing about these people. But there are another class of people who are able to go beyond the material sky. And that is described again by Krishna. Please repeat. Agner Jyotir Aha Shuklah Shanmasa Uttarayanam Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma Brahma Vido Janah. So Brahma Vidah. See, the ones who are dharmic, they are planning for enjoyment. But there are some people who know about the Supreme Brahman. They want to go to the spiritual sky. They are the ones who will practice very nicely. And they leave their body from Brahmarandra. They'll lift the soul or lift their life air and they will leave through Brahmarandra. Those are the people who will go to the spiritual sky, Brahma Jyoti, Brahman, or beyond this material world. They are not yet entered spiritual world. Huh? They're still there in spiritual sky, Brahma Jyoti. So in this way, one thing is very clear. That entire life these people prepare to get the very good next destination. Dharmic enjoyment. Okay, let me go to Swarga. Oh, I want to break the cycle of birth and death and go beyond this material world. Okay, no problem. Go to Brahman, the light, the Brahma Jyoti. And also at the same time, you have to note during the time of death, a very, very special event that takes place. Throughout our life, whatever activities we have done, with every activity, you know what we do? We mold our subtle body. We mold our subtle body in such a way that the next gross body will get ready for this subtle body. So it's like you have a substance and the gross body gets around it. That's it. Mm. So now, what happens at the time of death? Throughout life, whatever activities we have done, our subtle body has got various impressions. Our subtle body is developed in certain way. And at the time of death, we will remember certain things and die. And what happens at that time? Krishna is saying. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam त्यज्यते ante kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitah. Very nice shloka. It says, Hey Arjun, hey Kaunteya, son of Kunti, whatever one remembers at the time of death, that bhava, that state he'll attain in next life. And what he'll be able to remember at the time of death is what we have done the entire life. As simple as that. Therefore, we always keep saying again and again through Bhagavad Gita's teachings that the entire life is a preparation and death is an examination. And during the time of death, what we remember is going to decide our next destination. Therefore, these pious souls, throughout their life, they do pious activities. They'll give charity, they'll do yajna, they'll do this, that. And the others who are yogis, they get into various other activities which are little higher level to break the cycle of birth and death. And they're very clear that we want to go to so and so destination. We don't want to just end up here in this material world again or in this bhuloka again and suffer again. So, therefore, preparation is very, very important. But those who don't prepare, they see death as fear or danger. Those who prepare, they see death as opportunity. But now let's talk about devotees. When it comes to devotees, when they see death, they feel joyful. They're happy. Why they're happy? Because they're so happy that finally now I'll get into the eternal service of Krishna. Now I'll continue serving Krishna eternally. That is their very wonderful feeling. And Prabhupada says, for a materialist, death is like cat holding a mouse in the mouth. And you know what? Cat also holds its kitten. But that holding of the kitten is with love. And in the previous case, the case of a mouse, the mouse is feeling a lot of pain. वो छटपटा रहा था. But then, when it comes to the kitten, maybe the kitten might be smiling. Oh, my mother is holding me. So the personality is same, cat. But now the entities are different. Mouse and kitten. Activity is same. The cat is holding both of them. But the feelings are different. So in both the cases, for a materialist and for a devotee, the cat is death. But the materialist, when he sees death, is very, very fearful. And when it comes to a devotee, when he sees death, he's very, very happy. Very, very happy. So this is the difference. Now, what happens at the time of death for a devotee? That is very, very important to understand. Full life the devotee has prepared. Full life. And what was his preparation all about? His preparation was remembering Krishna all the time. Smartavyam satatam Vishnu. That was his preparation. Every time remembering Krishna. Many times when we approach senior devotees, they give blessings. And their blessings is Krishner Matyastu. It means may you always remember Krishna. May your Mati always be connected to Krishna. Why is it so important to practice this thing about remembering Krishna always? Krishna talks about that in Bhagavad Gita 8.5. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram ya prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayah. Here Krishna says, Hey Arjun, whatever you remember at the time of death, you become that in next life. That bhava you'll attain, that state you'll attain. But now in this shloka, he's saying, Arjun, if you remember me, you will become Krishna. You'll become Krishna. You'll become Arjun. You will go to Krishna's planet. That's what Krishna is saying. Ya prayati samadbhavam yati nasti atra samshayah. You'll come to my abode, Krishna is saying. You'll come to my abode. So this is a very, very important thing to understand. The entire life is a preparation at the time of death. Do you see death as danger or fear? Do you see death as opportunity, or are you very, very joyful seeing death or meeting with this end of life called death? That is based on the entire life's preparation. And here we understand for a devotee, he is very much prepared. Entire life is chanting Hare Krishna. Entire life is serving devotees, he is serving the Lord. Entire life he has spent in studying Shastra and preparing his consciousness. It might have happened that all of us, before coming to Krishna consciousness, we might have done all dirty things possible. But you know what? This is second life that we have got after coming to Krishna consciousness, after coming to Bhakti. Second life. Because if we would have remained in that same phase of life, we would have met Yamadutas. And now we have got a new life where we can prepare ourselves to meet the Lord directly. It's up to us. Therefore, I always say, as soon as a person comes to bhakti, that's a new life given to him. And in this new life, what the person does is very, very important. And the person, if he sincerely practices bhakti, he will remember Krishna for sure. He'll remember Krishna for sure. And Krishna is saying what he does for those sincere devotees. He tells in Bhagavad Gita, please repeat. Teshamaham samudharta mrityu samsara sagara bhavami na chirat partha maya veshita chetasa. Very wonderful shloka where Krishna is saying, Tesham, that person who is remembering me, that person who is nicely, sincerely practicing, Tesham, aham samudharta mrityu samsara sagarat, I will take him way back home, back to Godhead. Will it take time? He's like, Bhavami na chirat partha. I'm a swift deliverer. I'll swiftly deliver that person beyond the samsara, beyond the ocean of birth and death. Krishna is promising. That person is remembering me, I will surely help him out. But see, one thing is very important. Obviously, we are supposed to practice remembering. And there are great personalities who have practiced throughout their life remembering the Lord. And at the time of death, Lord has personally sent his dutas, Vishnu dutas, that go get him. And one such personality is Dhruv Maharaj. Very amazing example. Huh? So Dhruv Maharaj, he was able to see that beautiful plane coming. And he saw both the Vishnu dutas who have come to take him. He was so happy. He was so happy. He's meeting his death, but he's so happy. And immediately looking at that, Lord has sent for me. And Vishnu Dutas are also very wonderfully saying, Lord has sent us personally to take you back home, back to Godhead. He couldn't hold his happiness within. The only thing that he could do was he paid dandavat to them, remembering the Supreme Lord. How merciful and how great my Lord is. And these people always feel that even if they have done all the possible activities of Krishna consciousness to purify themselves and attain love for God, still they feel, oh, I'm not qualified to go back home, back to Godhead. And here, Dhruva, it is described. He stepped on the personification of death and he climbed onto the chariot and he went back. A similar example, which is cited in Kali Yuga, is that of Tukaram Maharaj, one of my favorite personalities. What bhakti this Tukaram Maharaj did. He's from Maharashtra, a great saint. His life at times was so critical. At times he didn't have food to eat at home. But then he never stopped chanting the holy names of the Lord. All throughout his life, he chanted the holy names of the Lord. All throughout. He would preach the glories of the holy names. He would write abhangas glorifying the holy name and the Lord. And in this way, Lord had informed him that tomorrow the Viman will come. Get ready. And every time Tukaram Maharaj would tell his wife that I'm going. So this time also when he went to tell that I'm going, she said, okay, go. This time is actually going. And then he was there with everyone and he told everyone, do Kirtan. And everyone started doing wonderful kirtan. Wonderful kirtan. You can imagine the ecstasy of Tukaram Maharaj doing kirtan. Today is supposed to go. And at that time, in that kirtan, he composed a very wonderful abhanga and he's saying that here comes Garuda, he's flapping his wings. Don't fear, don't fear. He has come to take me, don't fear. And finally, in front of many pious people who were able to see that scene, he climbed onto that chariot and he left. Ami zato amucha ghari amsa ram ram ghyava. He's greeting everyone that I'm leaving. Please accept my greetings. Wow. Then he went back. So in this way, we see that those people who have practiced throughout their life and they're able to remember the Lord, oh, for them, Lord personally comes to take. Ajamil chanted Narayan, Vishnu Tatas came, but obviously they didn't take him. They gave him a new life. When Vishnu Dutas and Yamadutas, when they started debating, you can imagine the entire scene. अजामिल ऐसे पड़ा हुआ है बेड पे एक साइड है टीम 1 और दूसरा साइड टीम 2 एंड डिबेट चालू एंड व्हाट इज द प्राइज दैट दीस पीपल आर गोइंग टू गेट अजामिल एंड अजामिल seeing विष्णुदूता आर saying ये हमारा प्रॉपर्टी है यमदूता आर saying नो नो ये सिंफुल पर्सन ये हमारा है and he's just looking at this side he's looking at that side and finally Vishnudutas they defeated the Yamadutas and Yamaduta just ran away from there and Ajamil wanted to say thank you and before that these people left. And that was a turning point in the life of Ajamil, which many people don't know, who don't read Srimad Bhagavatam, they don't know. There was a turning point where from that day he left everything. He went to Haridwar and he practiced intense form of bhakti. And finally, when the time came and when he was supposed to leave the body, same 4 Vishnudutas came to take him. Wow. So here comes the question, ठीक है प्रभु जी आप कह रहे हैं इतना सब तो हम भक्ति करेंगे सिंसियरली ट्राई करेंगे लेकिन अगर मरते समय अगर भगवान का स्मरण नहीं हुआ तो if I'm not able to remember the Lord at the time of death, what will happen? Krishna is answering this question also in Varaha Puran. This is a very beautiful shloka. It is also called as shloka of Sharanagati. Yadi vatadi doshena madbhakta mamna cha smare aham smarami madbhaktah nayami paramam gatim. So here Lord is saying, Yadi vatadi doshena madbhaktah mam nacha smaret. Because of vata adi dosha, kapha pitta vayu, because of those doshas, I don't know how many of you have read about death. At the time of death, all the holes of the body will get blocked. कुछ नहीं निकलेगा मुंह से नहीं निकलेगा. So it's blocked. So because of kapha, vata, and pitta, dosha, when all the holes are blocked, so here comes the question: how will my devotee remember me? Maybe he will not be able to remember me, but he has practiced bhakti throughout his life sincerely. So you know what I will do? He is saying, Aham smarami. I will remember him. Aham smarami mad bhakta, and I'll come there and take him back home, back to Godhead. This is called as a glorious death. This is called as a glorious death. Therefore, one point to be remembered is the entire process of bhakti is flawless because Krishna is personally involved. Somehow or the other, if you can practice bhakti sincerely every single day, don't worry what will happen at the time of death. Krishna will personally come to take. That's a very, very, very wonderful event. Therefore, devotees feel very joyful. Oh, finally, I'm going to take darshan of the Lord and serve Him personally. I'll have a spiritual body now. A spiritual body means no hunger, no thirst, no tiredness, no fatigue. I'll be able to serve eternally for the Lord's pleasure. And one thing to be noted is our Krishna, He'll never cheat anyone. Never. All his sincere devotees, He'll never cheat. Obviously, those who are cheaters, Krishna will cheat them. वो जो नौटंकी करते हैं ना कुछ जप वप करते नहीं बस ऐसे दिखावा not practicing bhakti just show off. Krishna might cheat them, but then those who are sincerely practicing bhakti, Krishna will never cheat them, never. Okay, let me tell you one case study. This was Prabhupada's disciple. You can imagine Prabhupada's direct disciple. So somehow some things happened, and then he was away from devotee association. Maybe he was not practicing at that time. He was away. It was a long time. But then other Prabhupada disciples, they thought that let's go and find where this person is. So after many years, they thought this. And finally, searching, they came to hospital. And there they could find that, oh, so and so person is there. And at that time, there was a very, very deadly disease this person had got, a terminal disease called Alzheimer's disease, AD, Alzheimer's disease. In this disease, I was hearing about it. That person forgets everything, including how to brush also, how to take bath. Everything. It's almost like clean slate. कुछ भी नहीं पता है, कुछ भी याद नहीं है. The person does not remember his own name. Forget about anything else. Forget about family members and all. The person will not remember his own name. That's the disease all about. He was there in that hospital, and all these other disciples of Prabhupada who were searching for him finally came there, and they said, "We have come to meet so and so person." And there, the people who were there in the hospital, they asked, "So your family members?" So they said, "No, no, we are from the same organization. He was there with us, and somehow he got separated from us, and now we want to meet him." Which organization are you from? What do you people do? They said that we are from ISKCON and we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And the other side, if I'm not wrong, a receptionist or a doctor, they were extremely happy. Oh, you are those people? You know what they said? This person has forgotten everything. But every day evening, when everyone comes together, he chants the same mantra and he makes everyone chant. He chants very joyfully, he makes others also chant, and everyone is joyful. This person only remembers this mantra, that is the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. When I heard this, I was feeling, wow, I was getting goosebumps. यही तो चाहिए at the time of death. मतलब you forget everything. Your slate is entirely clean. And what is written on that? Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. The person does not remember even how to brush and how to take bath. But that person remembers Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Therefore, I always tell all the sadhakas, Krishna will never cheat if you are doing bhakti very, very nicely, sincerely. Therefore, one point is very clear that we have to choose the option. We have three options. At the time of death, do you want to be fearful? Do you want to take the event as an opportunity? Or you want to be joyful in that event, which is called as death? These are the three options available. First option is for all common public. Anyways, they'll be very, very fearful and they'll feel death to be very, very dangerous. And people cry. And second category, who have lived their life dharmically, who have done various sattva guna activities, they are those who see it as an opportunity. Koi baat nahi. We leave this body, go to next, and from there to the next and to the next. Finally, we'll reach the highest destination. And the other category of people who are called as devotees, they see that as an event of joy, happiness, because they understand now we'll be attaining Krishna's eternal service. Therefore, when throughout this entire description of death, one thing is very clear: consistent practice is very, very important. If consistent practice is there in bhakti, surely we'll be able to advance. And this consistent practice should be done depending on the mercy of Krishna, depending on mercy of the Lord. We might be practicing and we might say, anyways, I've done so many rounds, I've done so many devotional activity. भगवान को लेना ही होगा मुझे भगवत धाम. Lord will also laugh. Yes. It's Lord's sweet will to take us or no. But then we understand that He's very, very pleased by His devotees when devotees practice bhakti very, very sincerely. Therefore, sum and substance of the entire description that I gave till now is the entity is going to remain the same, that is cat. But then how you want to meet the cat as a mouse or a kitten, that we have to decide. And anyone who practices bhakti very nicely, Even if that person is not able to remember Krishna at the time of death, Krishna will remember that person and do the needful. That is, take him back home, back to Godhead. Finally, the goal of life is to attain Krishna's eternal service this very lifetime. Can you imagine? After coming to bhakti, after coming to a place where we have all wonderful devotees, picking up beads in the hand and start chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, after doing all that, if you're not able to attain the eternal service of the Lord in this life, don't you think how much guilt feeling we'll get at the time of death? Hmm? Because this life is meant only for one thing. Everything else that is there is just time pass. The main thing is to move towards the direction of attaining the Lord. That is the main thing. And if someone is doing that, oh, congratulations to that person. Because that person is going to make it for sure. And you know who will help? A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He will help. He has been helping us throughout. He'll continue to help through his wonderful teachings. And the easiest way to attain the Lord is take shelter of such great souls. They'll recommend our name to Krishna. Krishna, he's my grandson. Take him. Do you think Krishna will reject? Krishna will accept. Yes. Therefore, anyone who becomes a very wonderful student, a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, they will have great hopes of attaining Krishna's eternal service in this very life. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.